I have always considered myself a woman of contrasts. My name is Maria, I am 28 years old, and I am an architect. I live in a bustling city, where neon lights try to outshine the stars and every corner is a potential stage for the next big story. Mine, however, starts in a rather unusual way. From a young age, I embraced my passion for design and architecture, allowing it to reflect not only in my work but also in my personal style. My long, always shiny, and perfectly cared for hair has been my most distinctive feature. It's not just vanity, it's a form of art in itself, an extension of my creativity. Single by choice, my social life is as vibrant as my career. My friends, an eclectic group of artists, designers, and thinkers, mirror the cultural diversity and richness of the city. It is in this environment, amidst laughter and debates about the latest fashion and architectural trends, where my story takes an unexpected turn. One night, during one of our usual gatherings, a peculiar bet was proposed to radically change our looks. The idea was to challenge ourselves, to see who had the courage to break from their usual image and dare to do something completely different. The proposal intrigued me. I've always been one to accept challenges, especially if they involve breaking molds and stepping out of the comfort zone. However, I did not stop to consider all the implications of what that would mean. "Well, Maria? Do you dare?" One of my friends challenged me, with a complicit smile. The table went silent, waiting for my response. With a mix of bravery and perhaps a touch of recklessness, I accepted. What I did not know at that moment was that this challenge would lead me to a transformative experience, both externally and internally. Fate wanted that of all possible changes, mine involved my most prized feature, my hair. The bet, explained in more detail after my acceptance, not only involved a radical cut but one that defied all conventional notions of beauty and style. I would shave my head, leaving only a thin and ridiculous fringe adorning my forehead. At first, the idea seemed crazy. But then, something inside me lit up. It was the opportunity to prove that my essence was not defined by my physical appearance. So, with a mix of nervousness and excitement, I prepared to face the challenge. It was the beginning of an adventure that would take me down unexpected paths, where I would learn that true beauty resides in the strength and confidence with which we face our fears and dare to be authentically ourselves. The day had arrived. I found myself sitting in the chair of one of the city's most exclusive salons, in front of a mirror that would soon reflect a very different image of the woman I knew. Elena, the stylist in charge of my transformation, looked at me through the mirror with a mix of excitement and seriousness. "Are you sure about this, Maria?" she asked one last time. I nodded, with a determination that surprised even my reflection. Elena began by describing the process. The shave would be to the skin, meticulous and precise, but we would leave a thin fringe at the front, a kind of capillary irony amidst the audacity. Despite the nerves, there was something in Elena's professional calm that reassured me. She draped me with a black cape and began. The buzz of the clippers became the soundtrack of my transformation. Elena started at the nape, moving the clippers with firmness and precision. I felt each strand of hair fall, leaving a sensation of freshness and lightness I had never experienced. Then, she proceeded to the sides, behind the ears, where the cold touch of the clippers contrasted with the warmth of my skin. Each pass was a farewell to my old self, a departure ritual that, surprisingly, did not hurt as much as I had anticipated. When it came to the fringe, Elena stopped. With surgeon-like precision, she trimmed a fine arch of hair over my forehead, leaving a comical contrast with the bare skin of my head. It was the final touch, the signature of this act of rebellion. Looking at myself in the mirror was a shock. The woman staring back was me, but also someone completely new. The fringe, as ridiculous in its intention as it was, somehow served as a reminder that even in audacity, there is room for laughter. Elena handed me a mirror to see the back of my head, completing the image of my new reality. I felt a mix of emotions, vulnerability, from exposing my scalp to the world of empowerment, for having made such a radical decision about my body, and curiosity, about how this change would be received by those who knew me. Elena, seeing my expression, smiled. "It's more than just a haircut, isn't it?" she said, understanding without words the whirlwind of feelings that engulfed me. I nodded, grateful for her skill and sensitivity. I paid and left her a generous tip, not just for her work but for the silent support throughout the process. Stepping out of the salon, the cool evening air hit my bare head, a strange but liberating sensation. I walked through the city with renewed confidence, aware of the stares but not letting them intimidate me. It was the beginning of a new chapter, an unexpected chapter in my life. The first time I stepped out into the street with my new look, I felt the curiosity and surprise of the gazes fixed on me. Some faces showed admiration, others hid their smiles behind a discreet hand. But what I remember most is the feeling of freedom, as if by shedding my hair, I had rid myself of a heavy burden I didn't even know I was carrying. My friends were the first to react. Some laughed, others were surprised, but all agreed on one thing: it was a declaration of bravery and authenticity. "Only you could carry this off with such grace, Maria," a friend said, and her words reinforced my confidence. However, not all reactions were positive. At work, I noticed some whispers and looks of skepticism. My boss, though he tried to hide it, clearly doubted my professionalism due to my appearance. The real test came in the following weeks. As I adjusted to my new self, I also had to confront others' perceptions. I discovered that while some saw me as an innovator, others judged me solely based on my appearance. It was a reminder that, despite social advances, we still live in a world where appearance carries considerable weight. Yet, this change brought unexpected opportunities. I was invited to give talks on self-expression and the importance of breaking stereotypes, becoming an unwitting icon of self-acceptance. Far from being negatively affected, my career took a new turn. I began to receive offers to design spaces that reflected this new philosophy of bravery and originality. On a personal level, the cut taught me to value more who I am inside than how I look on the outside. I learned that confidence doesn't come from meeting society's beauty standards but from being true to oneself. Yes, there were difficult days, moments when I doubted my decision, especially when the night's chill echoed on my bare head. But every look in the mirror reminded me of the reason behind my choice, the search for my essence, beyond the hair I once thought defined my identity. Over time, the ridiculous fringe became a signature, a symbol of my journey towards self-acceptance. My relationships deepened, attracting people who valued my authenticity and courage. Society, ever-changing, began to see my choice not as a passing fad but as a statement of individuality. Reflecting on my journey, I realized that this haircut, which started as an impulsive challenge, transformed into a powerful life lesson. It taught me to face fear and uncertainty with my head held high, literally. And though hair eventually grows back, the lessons learned and the strength found in this process will stay with me forever.